Absor. Okay, so we're going deep on this one.
Absor.
Google Maps top trending places of 2024.
Ooh, fun.
But it's not just about like the busiest places, you know?
Right.
It's about the spots that are actually earning those high ratings and glowing reviews.
Yeah, you're right. It's about quality and popularity, not just like foot traffic.
Exactly.
It's a really interesting way to kind of look at what people are loving around the world. You know, it's capturing that global attention. And this year we're looking at parks, museums, and stadiums.
Okay, so
Yeah.
starting with parks, it's like
Okay,
even
yeah.
with, all our tech and devices,
Right.
people still really crave nature.
Mm-hmm.
A prime example is Central Park in NYC.
Oh, yeah.
It's got a 4.8-star rating
Wow.
from 270,000 reviews.
It's a lot of people.
A lot of love for being right in the middle of the city.
Yeah, it shows you how important those green spaces are, especially as more and more people are moving to those urban areas.
For sure.
But, parks aren't just about escaping the concrete jungle.
Right.
Take Rizal Park in Manila. It's ranked really highly, too.
Yeah.
And it's steeped in history. It played a key role in the Philippines' fight for independence.
So it's a space for reflection.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then you have those parks that are just visually stunning. Like
Right.
Ohori Park in Japan with the traditional gardens, or Park Güell in Barcelona with the whimsical Gaudi architecture.
Oh, yeah, Park Güell.
They each offer something unique.
I love that.
Yeah, it seems like a good park can tap into a bunch of our needs, whether it's, peace and quiet or historical significance or just being visually stunning.
Absolutely.
Okay, but speaking of visually stunning, let's move on to museums.
Ooh, yes.
The British Museum in London is kind of the winner in this category.
Real
4.7 stars from over 150,000 reviews.
Wow.
It makes sense, though, when you think about it. It houses treasures like the Rosetta Stone.
Oh, it's definitely on my bucket list.
Yeah.
Although sometimes I'm drawn to the less famous spots.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Like, did you know the Museum of Art of São Paulo in Brazil made the list?
I did see that.
The building itself is a modernist masterpiece.
Yeah, it's so cool how museums have become works of art themselves.
Totally.
Then you have places like the Science and Industry Museum in Chicago,
Okay.
which also got a 4.7-star rating.
Nice.
And it's all about hands-on learning there, so it's great for families.
That's awesome.
It makes you realize that museums are adapting to different learning styles and interests.
That's a good point.
It's not just about dusty artifacts anymore. It's about engaging with history and culture in different ways.
I like that a lot. And while we're on the topic of global treasures, we can't forget the Museo Nacional de Antropología in Mexico.
Oh, of course.
A deep dive into pre-Columbian civilizations.
Yes.
And the Museo Nacional del Prado in Spain, overflowing with European masterpieces.
It's like each museum offers a portal to a different world.
I love that.
You can step into ancient Egypt 1 minute, then be transported to Renaissance Europe the next.
It's true. Museums really do cater to our endless curiosity.
They do.
But hey, after all that brain food, maybe we need a shot of adrenaline.
I like where this is going.
Let's talk stadiums.
Okay, hit me with it.
I bet you can't guess what topped this category.
Oh, I'm picturing massive modern arenas.
Okay.
But knowing this list, it could be something completely unexpected.
You're right.
Okay.
All right, prepare yourself.
Okay.
It's the Arena di Verona in Italy. A
Wow.
Roman amphitheater.
That's incredible. It still hosts operas and concerts today, right?
I know, right?
Talk about history coming alive.
It got a 4.7-star rating from 150,000 reviews.
People are loving that blend of ancient architecture with modern entertainment.
It makes you wonder,
Yeah.
does the setting enhance the experience?
Mm-hmm.
Is it about seeking something unique?
It must be.
But of course, we can't forget those modern behemoths, especially when it comes to soccer.
Right.
The Santiago Bernabeu Stadium, home of Real Madrid,
Of course.
and Spotify Camp Nou, home of Barcelona, are both on the list with stellar ratings.
It's practically a pilgrimage site for soccer fans.
For sure.
It's interesting how these venues become so symbolic, representing not just a sport, but a city's identity and a community's passion.
Totally. And speaking of iconic venues, Wembley Stadium in England and the Tokyo Dome in Japan round out the list,
Wow.
proving that, these attractions are global phenomenons.
It's amazing how a single space can hold so much history, passion, collective energy.
I know, it's crazy to think about all the memories made within those walls.
Right.
And yet, think about this. If you were planning a trip, Wouldn't you want to know which spots have really captured people's hearts this much?
Absolutely. I'd be so curious to see what others find so compelling.
Right. It's like having a global network of friends offering their recommendations.
I like that.
And, we've only just scratched the surface of these trending spots.
Yeah.
But I'm already wondering, what is it about these particular places that resonate so deeply? What makes them stand out in a world that's full of incredible destinations?
That's the million-dollar question.
Right.
It leads us down this fascinating path,
Yes.
exploring not just the what, but the why behind these global obsessions.
All right. So let's take a deeper dive and try to unpack that why. What do you say?
Let's unravel the mysteries behind these trends.
Let's do it.
When we're thinking about this why behind these places, right? I think a big part of it is the power of these shared experiences. Like all of these spots, whether they're ancient ruins or modern marvels, they all kind of connect us to something bigger than ourselves.
I like that. Like the Arena di Verona.
Yes.
People have been gathering there for centuries.
Right.
It's not just about the opera. It's about feeling connected to that history, to all the people who have experienced that same space.
Exactly. These places have witnessed history firsthand, held countless hopes and dreams.
Wow, yeah.
It's almost like they've absorbed that energy, and then we feel it when we're there.
That's a cool way to put it.
And it's not just limited to the past.
Okay.
Think about a soccer game at Camp Nou.
Oh, yeah.
The cheers, the groans, the electricity in the air, everyone's united by that passion for the sport.
Totally.
And that shared energy, becomes part of the stadium's story.
Each visitor adds a brushstroke to this giant canvas.
Yes, exactly.
And now with Google Maps, those individual experiences are amplified,
right,
shared globally, and then they influence others to seek out those same connections.
It's incredible how technology shapes how we travel these days.
It really is.
It's democratizing access to information and experiences.
Yeah, you don't have to rely on word of mouth or pricey guidebooks. You can tap into the wisdom of the crowd.
Right.
See real photos, read unfiltered reviews.
It empowers people to explore,
Totally.
to venture outside their comfort zones, to engage with different cultures.
It's like fostering this more curious and adventurous global mindset.
I think so too.
It's like having a personal tour guide right in your pocket. And you know what else I love?
What's up?
This data can also spark curiosity about places that are closer to home.
Oh, that's true.
You might live in a city and have never visited that local museum with rave reviews.
Right. Or you walk past a park every day.
Yeah.
And you've never actually explored its hidden paths.
Exactly. It encourages you to rediscover your own surroundings. Appreciate the hidden gems in your own backyard.
Adventure isn't limited to these far-off destinations. It's right on our doorstep.
I love that. It's about cultivating this sense of wonder and appreciation for the world, whether it's a world-famous landmark or a quiet park down the street.
And that's what makes this data so compelling.
Yeah.
It's not about rankings or lists.
Right.
It's about tapping into this human desire for connection exploration, meaning
Absolutely.
trying to understand what moves us, inspires us, makes us feel alive.
It's almost like these trending places are reflecting something back at us, revealing our desires and fascinations.
I think so.
But on a more personal note, what resonates with you most about this data?
Ooh, good question.
What's caught your attention?
You know what I find really fascinating is the intersection of this data with human psychology.
Oh, interesting.
Why does a Roman amphitheater still captivate audiences after all these centuries?
Yeah.
Or why does a specific park evoke this sense of tranquility in so many people?
It's like delving into the essence of human experience.
Right.
And our desire to connect with beauty, history, and each other.
Exactly. It's like trying to solve a puzzle.
Yeah.
Trying to decode the emotional resonance of these places.
But that's what makes them so captivating. They're not just spaces. They're vessels of memory, emotion, shared human experience.
I love that. And the more we understand those underlying motivations,
Yes.
the richer our travel experiences become.
Totally. It's not about checking things off a list.
Right.
It's about immersing ourselves in the stories, the culture, the energy that makes each place unique.
Exactly. So if we were to take this a step further, what advice would you give to someone who wants to make the most of these trending places, or really any travel destination?
That's a great question.
I would say go beyond the surface.
Okay.
Don't just snap a selfie and move on.
Yeah.
Take the time to truly engage with the space.
I like that.
Read the historical markers, listen to the tour guide, observe the locals, savor the food,
Those little moments.
Yeah, it's in those seemingly small moments that the magic unfolds.
It's like the difference between reading a book and watching a movie.
Ooh, I like that analogy.
The movie gives you the broad strokes,
Yeah.
but the book lets you explore the nuances, the character's inner worlds,
Right.
the richness of the language.
The more you immerse yourself in a place, engage all your senses,
Yes.
the more profound and lasting the experience will be.
That's what makes travel so transformative.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just about seeing new places.
Right.
It's about expanding our perspectives, challenging our assumptions, and ultimately growing as individuals.
Absolutely. It's about embracing the unknown, opening ourselves up to new experiences, and letting those experiences shape who we are.
I think we've really gone on a journey today.
We have.
From Google Maps data to the profound implications of travel and human connection.
It's amazing how all these threads weave together this rich tapestry of insight.
It is. It's a testament to the power of curiosity.
Yes.
And the endless possibilities that unfold when we delve deeper, question, explore, connect the dots.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
I am curious, though.
Okay.
Are there any potential downsides to this reliance on trending lists and user-generated data?
Ooh, that's an interesting question.
Could it lead to certain places becoming overcrowded or losing their authenticity?
That's a really interesting point.
Yeah.
It raises some important questions about the balance between popularity and preservation.
For sure.
It's definitely something to consider as we navigate this ever-evolving landscape of travel and exploration.
As a double-edged sword, right?
Yeah, it is.
On one hand, we have this amazing access to information and shared experiences, but on the other hand,
Right.
there's this risk of, overwhelming these places that capture our collective imagination.
That's true, and it really makes you think about responsible travel. Like maybe it's about seeking out lesser-known gems,
Okay.
or traveling during the off-season,
Right.
or even just being more mindful of our impact on the environment and the local communities.
That's such an important reminder.
Yeah.
It's not just about, ticking off a bucket list.
Right.
It's about preserving these places for future generations.
Exactly.
Speaking of the future,
Okay.
what trends do you think might shape Google Maps' top spots in 2025?
Ooh, prediction time.
Uh-huh. Let me think.
I think with the growing awareness of climate change and sustainability, I wouldn't be surprised if ecotourism and sustainable travel destinations
Yeah.
start climbing those ranks.
Okay.
And also places that prioritize community engagement and cultural preservation.
Makes sense.
Yeah, people are craving those authentic experiences.
Sure.
And they want to travel in a way that benefits both themselves and the places they visit.
It's not just about sightseeing anymore.
Right.
It's about, seeking a deeper connection with the world around us.
Exactly. And who knows what other shifts we'll see. Maybe virtual reality experiences will start influencing travel choices.
Oh, interesting.
Or personalized travel recommendations based on our interests and values will become even more sophisticated. Like the possibilities are endless.
I know. I'm already excited to see what next year's list reveals.
Me too.
But for now, I think we've given our listener plenty to ponder.
Yes.
So to wrap up our deep dive into Google Maps' top trending places, what's one question you'd like to leave them with?
Ooh.
Something to spark their curiosity as they explore the world,
Okay.
whether virtually or in person.
I would encourage them to ask themselves this.
Okay.
What story does this place tell?
I love that.
Every destination has a narrative, a history, a tapestry of experiences woven into its very fabric.
Wow.
And uncovering those stories, those hidden layers of meaning, can transform a simple trip into a truly enriching experience.
Beautifully said. And on that note, it's time for us to sign off. Stay tuned for other episode in Tono Deliva. Bye-bye.